Hey everyone, and welcome back to Dallas Cowboys coverage. I just wanted to do a quick recap of last week's Week 2 game, a great win over the Chargers, and then do a little bit of a preview of our next Monday night matchup against the Philadelphia Eagles. So remember to subscribe, hit that like button, and hopefully we can continue to grow. We're still brand new, and I can't wait to continue to grow and keep pumping out videos. So let's get to it. Alright, so week 2, the Cowboys get their first win of the season. We're now 1-1, and that's not a bad place to be. Two of the really tougher matchups we'll have all season. A really close game against the Bucs and a great win against the Chargers. The first thing I want to talk about is just the running backs. Tony Pollard, an incredible game, over 100 yards, had a touchdown. He was average 8.4 yards a carry. It's incredible. And Zeke didn't have a bad game either, around, 73 yards, also a touchdown. So really impressive by both backs. It really took a lot of pressure off Dak Prescott, who also had a solid game. No touchdowns, but the running game really led the way. He still played well, though. And, speaking of the running game, I was really impressed with the offensive line. Zach Martin had the highest PFF grade of the season of any player, 95 grade. Absolutely incredible. Definitely excited to have him back, and really proud of how the entire line did, especially now second-year player Terrence Steele in a really tough matchup against Joey Bosa. He neutralized him. And definitely, I know a lot of us weren't sold on Terrence Steele coming in, but he really had a good game, and I hope that he can continue to play well as Lyle Collins continues to serve his 5-game suspension. So the Cowboys have really been hit hard by injuries and suspensions, and it was really a nice win to get well shorthanded. Randy Gregory missed the game because of COVID. He'll be back this week. DeMarcus Lawrence, so obviously that broken foot, he's on IR. He'll miss 6 to 8 weeks, so that's a tough loss. But Micah Parsons really stepped up in that aspect, moving to defensive end. He was great rushing the passer. He was maybe the best defensive player of either team. He really did play well, had a lot of key pressures, and I think that we'll see more of the same from him in this next game against the Eagles, with now Torrance Armstrong and Carlos Watkins both out with their own injuries. So I think we're going to see a lot more of Micah Parsons, and I'll definitely be excited to see Randy Gregory back as well. So continuing with last week, the defense, more takeaways. The Cowboys have now had, I think, 5, maybe 6 consecutive games with 2 or more takeaways. That's really excellent, and I hope that can continue against the Eagles in our next matchup. The cornerback play was definitely, up and down. Trevon Diggs, obviously, number one. He had that interception in a tough matchup against Keenan Allen. He was pretty solid, still up and down, but again, can't blame him for that matchup. But I just hope to see the other guys step up. Anthony Brown had another rough game. Jordan Lewis played pretty well. I thought he was okay, but we really, are missing that number 2 cornerback, and I'm hoping that can be Calvin Joseph when he comes back. Maybe Nashawn Wright, but for now, Anthony Brown just isn't cutting it. It's really a mismatch. Him against a number 2 or 3 wide receiver. He's not winning that matchup. And speaking of wide receivers, CeeDee Lamb, another great game. Much better, less drops, and I think he had a pretty solid outing. Amari Cooper, not nearly as much as he had in week 1. Obviously, suffered that rib injury. He got hit late in the fourth quarter. He is doing well. He was limited at practice today, but is expected to play Monday. And for the third wide receiver, obviously, Gallup also injured. He should hopefully be back around October. But Cedric Wilson had a really good game filling in for him. I was really impressed with him. When Dak's on the field with him, they can do good things together. So that was really nice to see, as the offense is really looking strong. Not to mention Don Schultz, Blake Jarwin, getting better by the game, and really nice to see. And I can't wait to see the offense and defense against a very crucial matchup against the Philadelphia Eagles and the Cowboys home opener. So that's definitely exciting. Let me know if you're going to go to that game. And again, let me know your comments on, anything around the Cowboys, whether it's injuries, how you're feeling about next game. Predict the score if you want to. And hopefully we can make it a good win against a really hated opponent in the Philadelphia Eagles. So another thing I wanted to touch on, obviously, Greg the Leg, an incredible 56-yard game-winning field goal in that game. He really bounced back after a really terrible week one. I think that really gave a lot of us a sigh of relief and some more confidence in Greg Zuerlein, and hopefully he can continue to build on that good game and keep improving and getting back to a consistent mark. So obviously, special teams as a whole, not the best. I mean, it was, I think, better than week one, but still just it needs to be improved. There was that bad penalty on the roughing the punter, and it's just the little things like that that just need to be improved. John Vossel, I think, is a good special teams head coach, but I think he can tend to go just a little bit too far. Maybe he needs to dial it back just a tad. We don't want to be shooting ourselves in the foot on special teams. So that's something to work on and definitely be watching going into next game. But overall, I think it was a good performance against the Chargers. There are definitely some blunders, some, not great things. Like, I'll just say that last play, that should not have had to been a 56-yard field goal. We had 20 seconds and just wasted them. That kind of thing, that comes down to coaching. That clock management is so crucial in a game like that. Obviously we made the kick, so, all of that, it's kind of like, okay, whatever. But, that's something that needs to be improved, and it's still early in the season, and these are just things that need to be cleaned up. And but overall, a win, and that's really what we needed. So definitely a confidence boost for the whole team, especially with all these injuries and all this COVID. Really nice to get that win. And speaking of COVID, Keanu Neal now has been placed on the COVID-19 reserve list. He has not tested positive. He was only a close contact. So he still does have a chance to play Monday night against the Eagles. So we'll continue to monitor his status going into next game. But speaking of linebackers, I thought Leighton Van Der Esch and Jalen Smith both played much better. Really, they're both of their best games in a while. Van Der Esch had that great sack. Jalen Smith was solid. And I just hope that, I miss seeing the 2018 versions of them too. And I hope that they can continue to improve and get back to form. And, definitely, trying to take last game with a grain of salt. But it was a good step in the right direction. And I hope that they can continue to get back on track and improve as the season goes on. So, really, a good win. Again, I'm looking forward to Monday night against the Eagles. I'll be doing a video right after that game, reacting to it. Yeah, this video obviously had to come out a little bit later. Sorry about that. But next week, Monday night, right after the game, we'll have post-game reactions, and hopefully it'll be reacting to a win. So I'll see you guys then, Monday night. Predict the score down below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.